So once more, everyone, this is Sunday Community Skirmish number 19. This will be matchup number 2 between 404 and the T-Timers. We're still waiting for the T-Timers to ready up here. Press them ready buttons. Get us going into match number 2. Will 404 be able to win match number 2 and bring it to match number 3? Or will the T-Timers go on to win the second game as well and move on into the semifinals? I don't quite know who is winning the other matchup between the Riders and the Glowwater Thralls, but whoever does, we will be, in fact, casting the winner of this matchup and the winner of that matchup. The other stream will feature Cake versus the Mad Hatters. Of course, if you guys do want to watch both streams at once, as we do have both matches going on at once, robanddan.tv/live is where you want to do it. We actually have 3 streams on there, as we have one in Russian. There you go. There's the link. So go ahead and give that a watch, but you should keep the audio here because well, why not? All right, guys. We are going to get moving on here. Finally getting some readies from the pinprick. Or, well, from the Cutia. We are waiting for the pinprick still. But it looks like this match will start without too much of a further interruption. Here we go. We will determine who wins this side of the first round of the bracket stage in Sunday Community Skirmish. Number 19, I am, of course, Imagine once more. Glad to have you guys here with us watching on this beautiful Sunday as we get to battle on the dunes. And seems like once more we are going to have a closer matchup here on Battle on Dunes. Not going to have that long-range sniping going on that we so often see. So, let's get a quick rundown of ships, shall we? On the T-Timer side, on the Cutia, we've got Artemis. And an Artemis on the 2 wings. We've got a Carronade and a Banshee on the lower deck with a Hades up on the top. And on the pinprick, captained by Zingy Zhao, we've once again got that Gatling mortar medium with that flamethrower and flare gun on the side, so no change here for the pinprick. On the 404 side, on the Ansia, we've got that Artemis and that Carronade, and definitely hurting there as they went through that sandstorm. We've got a Artemis and a flare gun on the side. That is Log Hadley's ship. And on the Maestrelli, we've got Niusi captaining a Pyramidion with a Hades light flak with an Artemis and a flare gun on the side as well. So instead of a flamethrower, they've actually decided to go with that Artemis on the sides. And we're already getting some spots down here as the Cutia and the Ansia have seen each other. Cutia does not want Ed to be anywhere close to this. You do not want to be near charging Pyramidions as a Mobula, so the pinprick is going to come in, hopefully try to intercept the Ansia, who might just be charging forward here, seeing red against this Mobula, which they can really wreak havoc upon. Cutia is using that vertical movement pretty well here, trying to avoid shots from the Maestrelli, going up and down, bobbing and weaving. And looks like Cutia is just going to back on up here. Ansia is going to come charging on in. They will actually turn on the pinprick, which I'm a little bit surprised that. I would have expected the Ansia to continue focusing on the Cutia. But instead, he's kind of getting stuck in this middle ground here as the Maestrelli now gonna, looks like Hydro on up here. Pinprick turning around, gonna try to get back into range, and they do a fantastic job of doing so. Maestrelli now going to drop on down here as they try to avoid the shots from the pinprick. Pinprick balloon is almost down, actually, and CS coming on in here and using that light carronade. Will they be able to knock out the balloon? Not quite, but they do knock out the front guns. However, the Ansia is just getting absolutely hammered from behind by the Cutia now. Maestrelli coming on up and firing those Hades down over at the pinprick, but Ansia is just getting absolutely hammered by the pinprick and the QT, and that was just not the right move by the Ansia there, in my opinion. I definitely think that they should have gone after the QT, taken that Mobula out of this fight, let the Mistreli and the pinprick collide here, and instead the Mistreli is just going to get hammered here, but maybe the pinprick goes down first. Oh my! The pinprick does go down, so that is great firing there by the Mistreli, at least getting a kill out of this. Even though they are going to go down to the QT here, they do get a kill out of it, and that is very, very crucial to be at a 2-1 instead of a 2-0. That was almost a terrible, terrible engagement. Well, it was actually a pretty bad engagement still there for the blue team, but they do manage to pick up a kill. That means they will be able to even this out a little bit better than they would have thought. Now, Ansia is just charging on fourth here, and I don't like this at all. They should have waited for the Mistreli. You know, they do know that the Mobula is there, but that Mobula is just going to back up and meet up with his own teammate. And Mistreli is way behind the Ansia, and we actually saw this in the previous map, where one of these ships just got so much further ahead than the other and got absolutely obliterated. So Ansia looks like he will slow down here and go around the side of the ribs. Mistreli is falling behind him. You have spots on all these ships, which you often don't see in this map. You'll see it for a little while. Ansia is coming all the way around the ribs, it looks like. Well, the Mistreli is just charging head first in here. I don't know who the Mistreli... Looks like the Mistreli is going to be going on the pinprick, while Ansia is going to go up to the QT. And this is, I think, this is more what 404 had envisioned. The Ansia using that light carronade on the QT. The Mistreli doesn't want to get too close to the pinprick here, but oh my god, that is so many Hades shots going completely wild. Now Ansia does get a nice ram on the QT and is getting the better of this fight, but they've gone a little bit too close to the pinprick, and the pinprick is going to just absolutely hammer the Ansia from the side here. And now pinprick looks like he's going to be getting hit from behind by the Mistreli, but Mistreli, you don't want to go too forward here. That's going to make your guns on those front guns completely useless. Looks like the Mistreli had plans on charging the pinprick, but not going to be able to get the right angle. The Ansia is still working on the QT here, but the pinprick is going to come right in the back of this Pyra and just absolutely obliterate it, taking care of the Ansia. Nice pickup there by the pinprick, rescuing his teammate. That QT definitely had to worry about that Ansia straight up in his face. And unfortunately, the Mistreli missed an entire clip of Watcha while the Hades, while the pinprick was turning around, and that pretty much left the pinprick to do nothing but charge on fourth. You know, they didn't have to worry about anything getting hitting them from behind, and now Mistreli is just here out on its own, overstayed its welcome. Once again, it seems like a repeat almost of last game when the pinprick is just chasing down that Pyra. Thankfully, a lot of the Hades from the QT is missing as well, so that's going to leave their armor in a little bit better shape. But now the pinprick just charging straight on in here, and they might just be able to pick this kill up as the armor is still down on the Mistreli, and they are managing to repair fairly well. The pinprick has lost his balloon in the meantime, but the Mistreli losing his armor once more, and will those shots come and finish him off? Not quite yet, even though they are now fighting in this sandstorm, and that's terrible time here for the pinprick and Mistreli, as they're going to get all sorts of stuff broken. The pinprick losing his balloon, now the Mistreli doing the same, but the Ansia is actually... Wait, did he turn around? Oh no, he was charging forward and trying to get the QT, and the QT, I think, just a little bit to the side, and that is going to give the pinprick enough time to take down the Mistreli, and the Ansia is gonna try to pick up the QT, but this is the last kill that the T-timers would need here. And instead, the Ansia is gonna just book it on out of here. They don't want any part of this, but now they are spotted, and the Mistreli is kind of on the opposite end here. They can maybe try for a little bit of a sandwich maneuver, but the T-timers just need one more kill, so they can really just turn on whoever they see first, and the Mistreli has been spotted. Ansia still fairly far away here, and it looks like he's just having a little bit of trouble around in the ribs here. Gonna start shooting off that Artemis, though. And yep, the QT, here we go. QT and Pinprick are just going to charge the Mistrali down once more. It's going to be up to the Ansia to be able to provide some sort of supporting fire from the back here. But Pinprick chasing after the Mistrali. Mistrali trying to back on up as much as it can, but it's going to hit the edge of the map sooner or later. And now those Hades shots are connecting as well. The Mistrali is feeling the pain here as it's getting Gatlinged and Hades down at the same time. Doing a good job of repairing so far. Returning a lot of fire into the Pinprick. Pinprick's actually about to lose his armor, but just not quite. Mistrali doing a great job so far, but here we go. They are about to hit the edge of the map here. Pinprick is actually taking a lot of damage suddenly, and will those light flak shots finish him off? Not quite yet. Mistrali doing a fantastic job of repairing and backing up and shooting at the same time. Ansia now getting behind the QT and knocking his balloon down. The Mistrali will have to finish off Pinprick here. Will they be able to do so? That armor is down. Will the light flak shots connect? No, they go way, 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 way overhead. And the Ansia looks like he's actually going to try to... Oh, this is a bad move in my... I would say. You should have just left the Mistrali to focus on the Pinprick, and the Ansia should have kept on the QT. But they do pick up that kill, and the QT... Instead of trying to back on up, maybe they are going to get all sorts of fire on them. That balloon is down. That armor went down as well. They're about to bounce on the floor here, and the QT is going to get taken down. And what looked like the T-Timers might just be able to finish this off just when it seemed like they might be able to do it. The Mistrali managed to stay alive. There are a lot of shots were missing from the QT. And some from the Pinprick as well. I think they may have just been out of range for a lot of that. Mistrali did a fantastic job connecting with a lot of those shots. Even though at the end, a lot of light flak went overhead. Doesn't really matter. They do get the kill. Staying alive. And to top this all off, the best thing out of all of this is that Mistrali took 0 permanent damage. Which means this game is really still anyone's. You know, it really looked like 404 is backed into a tough corner, but they managed to pull out 2 kills without taking any damage. After being split up completely on this map, Mistrali just did a great job backing up and shooting. T-Time still has the advantage, though. Of course, they only need 1 kill, which means they can still just focus on any one ship here. But they do have to be careful. You know, if they lose a ship, they will probably lose this match as well. You know, if these 2 404 ships get the Mobula down quickly, they just blend them down immediately and get some nice shots off and immediately. It's definitely going to work out well for them. Looks like the T-Timers are setting up behind the wreckage here. Using a little bit of cloud cover there is in this match. Of course, these clouds do roll through. So even though you can flare them up, the effectiveness doesn't last for that long. As once the cloud is gone, so are the flares. But once the cloud is gone, so is the invisibility or cover you get from the clouds. So we are going to see these 2 teams notice where each other are very, very quickly here. We are going to have some spots very quickly. Another flare gets thrown off there. But Mistrali, QT, Pinprick, and Ansia are all going to see each other. So let's see who these ships go for here. All right, Pinprick coming on 4th. Mistrali shooting off that Hades. Doing a decent job of it so far. QT connecting with some as well. Mistrali is actually... Oh, no. Ansia is actually going to get into the front fray here. And Pinprick has got a beat on the Ansia if he wants it. Where's that Gatling mortar? Oh, I think they may have actually knocked out the Gatling for a moment there. Oh, Ansia takes a bad bounce against the ribs here. And that's actually going to... Oh, no. Oh, no. Ansia taking a horrible bounce against the ribs here. Oh, my God. So much health lost immediately. Pinprick is just going to focus down the Ansia here. Will take him down, and that is just a bad bounce. They're 404. they looked like they were, they were in this, and then just a horrible, horrible bounce at the end. That is unfortunate for the Ancia and Log Haley. That allowed the Pinprick to finish him off rather speedily, as they took almost at least half of the permanent damage there. It stopped all momentum, couldn't back up anymore. And wow, that is an unfortunate end for 404 there. Still very, very good job by both teams. 404 hung in there until the end. And, Tea Time definitely took care of business. Definitely take care of business. All right, guys. We are going to be going into our second match fairly soon here. It will be whoever won the Riders versus Glowwater Thralls. Let's see if I have an update for you guys on who's been winning. Looks like Thralls won match number 1. So whenever match number 2 finishes there, I'm not sure why this isn't pulling up here. All right, regardless, guys, when we find out who the Riders, who will win between Riders and Thralls, we will get into that matchup. On the other stream, you will see Cake and Mad Hatters. Stay tuned, guys. We'll be back in just a little bit.